Hello there, and welcome back to the second episode of my Savage Land series featuring the Gulf Cobalt Fortress. We have arrived in the last episode just to be greeted by a giant snapping turtle, which we somehow fought back. I have made some progress in between that I can't show off here. Our farming district is up and running. We have something of everything. The only thing I'm not growing right now are dimple cups and sweet pods, but we'll get about it. We will see to that. I have also set up a humongous amount of work orders. Basically, we're producing everything cloth right now. We're producing everything stone right now. And we're making ourselves some drink. We're making ourselves some food. The setup is quite simple. Every piece of clothing I have set up like that. We make 5 of them, and only if we have more than 10 cloth available. So this way I have a steady supply, but only if we have enough cloth to satisfy that, and crafting some bags and ropes in between. We're also processing some animal stuff. I tried to include pretty much everything, but I'm pretty sure we have forgotten something. Today's plans were, when we were thinking about it, quite clear. I wanted to get some living area done here because it's really important that our friends have some place to stay at, and knowing how things go down the road, we won't stay alone, so we should bring up some apartments for the people to come. And beyond that, I felt like I want to try and get some underground pasture going because the outside world is so dangerous that I really want to get my animals into safety. And the easiest way I know of would be to make some underground pasture. So there's 2 ways I could do that. For one, I could just open up the caverns and hope that the fungus spreads. But I've also heard that if you let sunlight touch these grounds, you get some nice pasture ground as well. And I wanted to try that out here. So our new rookie expedition leader lady wants to try out some new strategies she heard of in the capital. So we're going to do that while we're carving out a couple of apartments here. The production of goods is already up and running, so we should be really getting that done in no time. I do not have a particularly well made plan for the workshop area so far. My biggest plan was to put down a mechanics workshop right next to these and let the madness continue like that until we have more dwarves at hand. Because right now we just don't have too many workers that could do anything for us, and therefore I really don't want to expand this mine too deep. I mean, as you already might notice here, our jobs here don't get done because there's just too much work to to do here. Oh yeah, I also know how that happened. Stop right there. You're going to do the planting work alone, my men. And probably the fisher dwarf is going to be the second holder. This is one thing that I forgot. So it's really bad when your people do all your people do the planting, and that's because the planter's skill level decides how much yield you get. Therefore, try to be best off with a legendary planter. And we go into the standing orders to let only farmers harvest because I find that much more effective. So here we see now that some silly dwarfs do some planting, which they aren't supposed to do, but it's going to stop. Alright, so we also can remove the carpenter's workshop here. Some strange animals have been sighted. Some really disgusting buggers up here. Giant flies. What kind of a disgusting place did we get ourselves into? But, well, it is as it is. So we're getting more and more gemstones here. But the tragic behind that is gemstone is no ore. So the big challenge of Gulf Cobalt is now to get itself a steady supply of ores to work with because they're literally broke. There's nothing to work with here so far except for a couple of green gemstones and rock salt. That's that. That's why I want to set up a mining area today as well. but one thing at a time. By the way, if you were wondering about the health of a brave fisher dwarf lady, she's in best shape. And I discovered that she's also incredibly quick to heal, and obviously she walked off the attack of that giant snapping turtle. The dog is not so well off. He lost a part of his motion abilities, and well, things might or might not have been a little bit rough for the little bugger. Well, we're gonna get there. So for now, I'm quite happy to see that our jobs are getting done. We're carving tons of stone blocks to work with in the future, and the first pieces of furniture get done. I probably should get up another stoneworker's workshop, huh? Well, that's the problem with with the beginning of your average fortress. There's just so many things to do all at once. It's hard to get everything going. So here we have our poor little bugger. Check him out. Lost its ability to stand, and motor nerve damage, sensory nerve damage. That's really... I don't know. I feel like we should put the poor beast out of its misery. But then again, it's actually one of our official heroes, so... I'm a bit of a pickle here. So, for now, I'm going to put down a garbage dump and the refuse dump outside here. I don't know. I feel like I don't want to do that in the long run. I feel like I want to put the refuse, as soon as I find the zone for that is. Hello, brain. Garbage dump. Jeez. It is there, isn't it? Or, no. Yeah. I know why I am mistaken here. So here goes the stockpile zone that I usually put up. That's why I was confused. Refuse is only to be found here, and I do love to have its own stockpile. So let's go back to our city tile and put a custom order down so we don't accept any corpses anymore. And we don't accept any refuse anymore. Here we go. Okay, good start for now. Let's see, how did this go? Well, okay-ish. At least the first beds are done. Look at that. Or brave little dudes. They can finally sleep somewhere. Which is not on the floor. They deserve better. So, it's actually 7 beds. Wow, nice. I'm afraid we don't have the doors for that yet. Nah, but a single door has been made. It's a little bit problematic because right now the little dude here is working through the obviously most important job here, making rock blocks. I mean, it's my own fault. I put them up in that order. So, well, let's just let the doors go up in priority. I mean, these are all fixable problems. There we go. It'll take a moment, though, to seep through here. So, I don't know. I wonder if seeing that mangled dog will make my dwarves unhappy in the long run. I mean, I would be unhappy. I am actually a little bit unhappy now that I think more closely about it, and it already works. So we're going to go with our mining endeavors into this direction. So one thing that we're going to do right from the get-go is we're not going to cross our mining area with our residential area. That's going to be 2 different systems. I don't want to have anything from the deep dark swooping into our citizen area. That will be not cool, and therefore we don't do it. So the good news so far, we have really a lot of drink. The bad news, we're a little bit low on food, but whatever. It should be okay. It should be okay. So let's do the next bold and dumb move. Let's put the trade depot directly above ground. It is really not safe to do so, but I don't have the intention to go underground with that anytime soon, because I want to build a little bit of a fortress above ground. That was at least my idea. complete with moat at all. Probably even with a roof, considering that enemies might come from above. A giant magpie. How concerned should I be? I mean, I don't know. The giant animals are freaking me out in this game a little bit because, you know, giant animals and the species I'm playing are dwarfs. So the problem actually magnifies by another order. Get what I mean? So, what do we have here? Do you guys finally have made door? Did you? Whatever. Can't talk anymore. You get me. Did you guys finally make doors? That's what I was trying to say. No, they don't. But the good news, those beds, they already will get used. Because that's how your standard dwarf is wired. They do use the beds if they lie around. They don't have they don't have a designated bedroom yet, but they will also be not unhappy anymore because they had to lie on the ground, which is pretty great. So let's also is there. We're going to put the meeting zone now down here. Deeper down the ground, and I'm also going to carve out a little bit of a temple for starters. Let's check out who's the most popular god here in town, and give them some convenience, something to settle down. Okay, so far so good. There goes the entrance to the mines. We're going to construct ourselves a little bit of a wall here, left and right, and a door afterwards, and a hatch above the staircase. You know, right now these safety precautions are totally unnecessary, but it won't stay like that. And many design choices we cannot alter later anymore. Okay. So, let's get ourselves a temple. So, we have... I don't want to put up a temple for a death and suicide god, thank you, even if 3 people worship. What's wrong with you people? What? So, I knew this all had a catch. So, it turns out 3 of my people here, 3 of 7, that's almost 50% of the colony so far, are worshipping a death and suicide god. They even have their own religion already. Like their own sect, the Fellowship of Ashes. Yeah, okay, we're doing a VUCAR temple then. It's better to control the chaos rather than letting them found something. Okay, I'm disturbed now. I'm slightly disturbed. We're going to monitor closely who's going in and outside of that place. You know, this way we can make sure who's getting access to the library later and who doesn't. You know? God, that dog is making me really feel sick. So what does the outside world do? It's only giant magpies out there. I feel like we are in a okay spot so far. But let's change something up at this space here. Prepared honey bee brain biscuits. It's quite funny that I see those because today I was hanging out on a Reddit thread that actually totally was about exactly these types of meals. We're doing our own honey bee biscuits here, obviously. Fun. Alright, so let's carve out some storage area up here too. I'm somewhat concerned about my food situation, honestly. So, well, let's go outside and harvest a bit. It's always a nice option if you have trouble with food. I mean, considering the situation, I could also allow the kitchen to use some of the more available alcohol for cooking for now. Usually I forbid that, but you know. I don't want to let the food run out. But since there's nothing deadly right now above ground, we can go and allow ourselves some foraging time up there. Okay, so yeah, the mechanics workshop. I haven't configured that yet. So let's do this. It's really quick. We only make rock mechanisms in there. Go. By the way, if you didn't know already, you can hold down left shift to really fast scroll up and down that list. This was one of the most important changes for my gameplay ever. So we're going to produce these things until we have 5 of them. And that's pretty much all I wanted that mechanics workshop for. Alright, so here we have our mining tunnel. I'm going to go... Right, well, I'm going to go down a bit deeper. The proximity to the residency area is making me a little bit nervous, but that's okay. Finally the storage areas have been dug out. So we're going to store our food stuff. The drinks, all the drinks will be stored here. You pick that up from... Where's my still ad? Here. And also from the giant junk pile down there. We're going to dissolve the giant junk pile at some point in the near future, but for now he's a necessary evil. He's chilling there. We're going to sort our stockpiles now bit by bit, because that's what I like to do usually, but we are not quite there yet. So I want to store my prepared meals, and also I'm going to store all the ingredients for that. Let's put it down like that here. Boom. Probably that too. Yeah, not quite the complete list. I'm pretty sure I forgot a lot of things there, but it's going to be good enough. My big plan here is to make sure that the kitchen is no longer accessing the stockpile down here, because that's just very, very ineffective. So we're going to forbid food stuff in general now here. So, and as you note, so bit by bit we're clearing out the stockpile here. Hopefully. And there's lots of food stuff showing up here now, and that means we can now put the booze back from the cooking menu. Okay, so what I do notice here is a terrible lack of bins. Wood is... I don't have that much wood, but for a while now we're going to bite the bullet and make some bins out of wood. Because I just want to order my base a little bit. I dislike it when things are lying around like that, so we're making some bins. Just a few. Okay, so finally the first doors get installed. Check this out, man. Let's give the mining tunnel the door it deserves as well. Let's check it out. Do we have the hatch as well? Not quite yet. It's okay. So let's put up a lever first down here, because this lever will be the one which we're going to pull if something goes south in the mines. But judging from the fact that we right now have a temple of a death and suicide god here right in our civilian quarter, I think that's much more of a problem than any mine will ever be. Let's see how that develops. I somehow cannot stop myself from letting them be, because that's one thing I learned about this game. If anything, or being overly cautious brings you, if anything, just a lack of fun, and that's how you get the feeling that this game might be dull and boring. I hear that from some people. They're like, yeah, what's Dwarf Fortress all about? It's super easy to keep it running because it's easy to bring up food and stuff. The fun lies in provoking the game, trying science, and basically doing things that put your dwarfs into risk, like founding a death and suicide god worshipping temple thing. We should definitely give that church a little bit of a extra space here, but what I'm going to do now, just because I can and because we have the opportunity, we're going to engrave that entire thing, and then we're going to check on out what are these guys actually engraving there, because that's really something I'm extremely curious about. And so we're going to leave the stone cutting and engraving to our expedition leader. So she's going to be no longer in the duty of carving out mining tunnels. We should get some immigrants quite soon. Can't be that much longer until the first bunch of maniacs comes on in here. Speaking about maniacs, I really should try and check on out who goes in there. So let's see. A finely designed image of a mini forge. Alright, that's quite harmless so far. I'm watching. So let's check out what we can find here or can't find here. So we struck bauxite. That's pretty much useless. Let's go down the hallway a little bit more. And let's start staggering that staircase a little bit. It's really good for your safety if you stagger your staircases a little bit. And what does the animal watch say? White storks. Well, that sounds at least harmless. I hope it is. So... Oh yeah, and another thing, I really should get my crafts dwarf some rock knickknacks going, because we have so much rock we don't need. So let's say, since we're a death cult, we should make some some fancy jewelry here. How about that? Bracelets, amulets. Let's make rock amulets. It doesn't really matter. I just want to say, as long as we have more than 30 pieces of non-economic hard rock, you keep going, my man. This way, we hopefully will get something to trade when the caravan hits town. So let's dig deep here, because I don't know. I am not too fond of the area here. So this is strip mining. I'm totally or I don't know if strip mining is the correct term, but I'm really doing my best to see whether or not there is anything inside the area there. So there's a bit of extra gemstone, green jade, hooray, but not really what I'm looking for. We got chalkstone though. That's actually not bad if I remember correctly. That's exactly, that's fluxstone. So we only need to find iron now, and we can make something happen. Wonderful. We also need more people. Like seriously, this place is just way too small. So, but it'll all come together in time. Let's designate a hotkey for the mines. So we have now a hotkey for above earth, the workshop area, and the mine. So let's check this out. So far, so good. I'm totally scared about what's what's going to come, but well, we'll see. So far, the chalk layer is totally ore free. That's sparse mineral distribution for you, and the first bunch of immigrants is arriving. Hooray! Hello there. So where are the folks? So here we go. Let's have a look see at them. So you are Zulban Kikro Blah. Alright. So I didn't dreams of creating a great work of art. So I wonder. Alright, Tab McDeedy. I mean, we VUCAR. There's the next one of them. I wonder if my whole culture isn't slightly nudged towards VUCAR. Oh boy, here we go. That's going to be an interesting run. Dreams of mastering a skill. So beyond the fact that they worship a weird god, they seem to be okay. So we have Golgun and Tabnik. So obviously we're getting some other deities into town. That's good. That's really good. That's relieving me a little bit. So The Steel of Panthers. That's how our local government is called? Jeez, the image of a bulky mitten. So there's some wholesomeness in these guys after all. Pile of gems, some coins, two flying squirrels. Okay, so I guess we're totally okay. An image of two spinach, the symbol of the towers of age. So the literal official symbol of our civilization is two pieces of spinach. Okay, sure. Some stuff you need to know. Yeah, we're this. I picked you guys because you sounded cooler like the other dudes. All right, and so let's dig down deeper until we've broken through the flux stone layer. I mean that's already pretty brilliant to see what we see there because that means we have a ton of flux stone to work with. But so far, what metals? Nowhere to be found. So I mean I haven't probed any of the levels in between. To be fair, I mean that's not really any their sample size here. Oh, whoopsie. I don't want to go too much into this direction. The whole mines shall flow towards the eastern direction. So let's give that thing another hotkey designator so we don't have to zoom around that much. Alright, there we go. So let's just hope we're going to find something appealing in there. Oh, there's at least tin. That's a start. I mean, tin alone is not really getting us too far, but yeah, I'm happy that I found cassiterite. You can do so many fancy things with cassiterite. I'm just a little bit reluctant about my happiness level, mostly because I am really, really looking for iron here in the first place. I mean, I have scouted this place specifically with our royal geologists to make sure that we have iron here. So, the image of a hatch cover. Great. That's art, I guess. Link liver. And we're going to link this thing here. And we're also going to put on a hatch here. We still don't have a hatch cover. I have put that up to the to-do list. Alright. So this is going to be Feel the Mines. I really like to give my livers very, very clear names that leave no doubts what they're meant to be good for. Because I'm a very scatterbrained person, and if I ever happen to have no time to play this for a while, this might come in handy. All right. So what do we have up there? There's more cassiterite. So we haven't found the iron yet. So probably I should probe the chalk layers a little bit deeper. But well, to be quite honest, most of the time when I didn't find anything in a certain layer, it stayed like that. I mean, I have chosen my fate. Sparse mineral distribution is quite harsh, but I do like that. I dislike the basic settings when every mineral is so darned available. That makes every fortress darn samey. When every fortress has access to all the minerals and metals quite easily, you know, that doesn't force me to specialize myself into anything. And yeah, I just noticed that I totally skipped the entire underground pasture topic. Oh my. So let's at least lay down the foundation for that project, okay? So we're going to have this insanely oversized room there, and probably we're going to make that several rooms. How about that? I like the idea of this. I just figured that if we erase these like that, we can make a system of several pastures. I find the idea quite appealing. It'll take a while for that to be carved out, but the basic idea is now that we put the same blueprint of that. So I think that's a little bit wrong. So now That's okay. So we put the same blueprint like that above, one level above. So that's I should count those. These are 8. That's easier to count. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I thought. Somebody has to be able to count to make that work. And that one is only 6. God knows why. So there we go. This is really important because we're going to carve out the floor and replace it afterwards. And we have to plan this accordingly, so no dwarfs will get hurt by the well, during the constructions of this. Because we actually will have to remove a lot of soil here. Okay, I was scared for a moment. One of our rabbits just starved to death. Yeah, we're working on that, dear. Okay, but so far so good. We're just 11 people here. That's a little bit bothersome. But my biggest concern are 2 things. For one, we haven't found any coal whatsoever so far. And the other thing, we have only found cassiterite. So we really should dig deeper. But, well, I mean, ultimately we should hit lava. So, you know, if everything else fails, we're just going to use the endless fuel source. But yeah, it ain't the best idea. Oh, speaking about bad ideas, I just noticed that I have a very, very close by stagnant water pool, and I have a very, very close by planned underground farming project. So, yeah, probably it's going to be quite interesting. But now that I think more closely about it, will be easier to make the irrigation just happen via the aquifer. I think that's what I'm going to do. So stupidly easy, and I'm going to show you why, but not in this episode. So I'll put down a hatch. And speaking about not doing this episode, it's been a blast, my friends, but it is also about time to say goodbye. So the plans so far went down quite well. Oh, damn. Yeah, we need to get rid of the corpses now because they don't get waterholed. We do have now a suicide cult in here. What can go possibly wrong? We're going to continue in the next episode to see for all the needs of all the other dwarfs. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. Feel free to leave me a comment down below. Feel free to just let me know what you want to see in the future or in this series. I really love to chat out, to have a chat with you folks, and leave a thumbs up for this video if you enjoyed, to make it more visible for all the other Dwarf Fortress lovers, and of course consider subscribing. There's daily content coming up from my side, and yeah, well, if you like this one, chances are you like the rest of the stuff as well. I also put the link to the playlist for the series down there, so you might want to check that out too. And a big shout out to all the supporters to this channel. It's really amazing. I'm really, really grateful. I wanted to say thanks and wanted to point out the links to the support are down there. Patreon, PayPal, and Buy Me a Coffee. I'd be really happy if you'd give them a look. And if you're still here watching all this ad roll and whatnot, a big special thanks to you because I really appreciate. See you guys next time. Bye-bye.